Hey, we're from the St. Croix River Education District. I'm Nick.
I'm Courtney.
And I'm Rye.
We're talking about student engagement strategies, and one in particular we're going to talk about in this video is connecting students' interests and preferences to the lesson content. And you might be wondering, like, how do I get this information about students' interests? And we have a separate video about that in particular. And what we kind of recommend is building in something proactive at the beginning of the grading period, like a paper printout, just quick little survey, or doing a quick little survey on Chromebooks, but just proactively right away getting all that information so you can start to leverage it right away. Because if you know students in your class, like a lot of them are interested in a particular game or a movie or sports, or if they have a preference for making projects versus writing assignments, all that information, you can start to tailor your content and your delivery to leverage those things. And just some examples, like if you can make any connection to the content you're covering to what they're interested in, like video games in particular. In a lot of video games, you're walking around like picking up supplies and there's like a little bring noise. You got your supplies. So if I'm a history teacher and I'm talking about like an army moving around a country and having to collect supplies, like I can just kind of spontaneously make that little connection. Like, you know, it's like, I don't actually play very many video games. I can't really on the top of my head come up with one, but like it's like a certain video game or just video games in general, because students can probably relate to that. Like Minecraft. Yeah, you have to go pick up stuff. So just making those spontaneous connections or thinking about it ahead of time. I just know, like when I know my students and what they're interested in, a lot of them, like Pokemon last year was a thing. I would just search for any opportunity to connect, like Pokemon evolutions. Like they learn things, they grow, and then they evolve. And there's like a lot of things in curriculum that you can tie to that. What about you guys?
I was trying to think of some examples. My girls are in school, and my youngest had to do an assignment that was like a full plate project. So it was towards the beginning of the year, and they just had to incorporate like all of their interests on and fit everything they could do onto a plate. And it was a good like relationship building technique even for the students in her class, like to get to know her. And she was graded on like the creativity and all the things. And then the other example I can think of is like, I think like 6th grade, they do the demonstrative speeches, and like you get to demonstrate a skill or a talent that you have on a specific topic. And I just like, for whatever reason, I remember my my speech was like wrapping a present, and like it was just so much fun to like see what the other students picked as their skill or special talent. Or not to say that wrapping presents is a great talent of mine or anything, but it was just a really cool like way to connect interest with the students and the teachers.
Right. And I think like if you are using slideshows or presentations of any kind, just bringing in pop culture references that kids can relate to just makes things a little bit more engaging. Like I know sometimes we throw Bitmojis in our presentations, which I think is hilarious and fun. And we used a TikTok video in one of them earlier this year, which I also thought was great. And just trying to think about what kids are seeing and just bring that into the educational environment in a more positive way, maybe even too, is helpful.
Yeah, and like just one that naturally occurred to me is you talk about like speech giving or persuasive writing. It doesn't have to be speeches, but you can show like examples of press conferences where like an NBA coach gave like a really moving, brief little speech, and just kind of bring those interests and connections in. One thing we didn't talk so much about when we were talking about these like little spontaneous connections that you make is just like allowing students to pick topics to do work around. So, I mean, one natural one is like, again, kind of like speech giving, but writing assignments, like giving them that open door to pick what they're going to write or speak about is just one natural common way to secure that investment. And they bring their interest in themselves.
You can also do it in math with those word problem writing. If you have students write word problems, it can be centered around things that they're into or things that they care about.
Another great example. All right. Well, thank you guys. Have a good one.